What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. We're talking about niche fragrances that are clearly clones. Some have a little bit of a twist, but there's no denying they smell extremely similar to some more popular stuff. Some are cloning designer fragrances. Some are cloning other niche. Sometimes it's because it's the same perfumer and they bring their, take their talents to South Beach, if you will. They're moving it over to a different company and recreating something they loved creating elsewhere. It's weird how this stuff kind of works, but we've got 7 kind of brilliant examples to where these are actually all really good. And they all offer something really fantastic. Aside from one, I would take all of these over what they're actually cloning. So let's talk about it. Stay tuned. Starting with one that I fell into 2 offerings from the brand, and I enjoyed them so much, I was like, oh, let me see if I can find some at some discounters. And Fragrance Buy had stocked some Gritti fragrances, and I saw the notes on Rebellion. And it was $95 when retail's like over $200. And I was like, shit, let me give that a shot. Turns out, slightly greener Chanel Allure Sport Eau Extreme. And it is fantastic. This is like really, really good. Take Chanel Allure Sport, make it a little bit greener, and increase the quality of the oils. You get Gritti Rebellion, and it costs less from discounters. $95 for 100 ml. When Chanel Allure Sport Eau Extreme 100 ml, it's gonna cost you over $150 most of the time. So get this, basically like a happy accident. Like I just saw the notes and I was like, oh, this looks like something pretty safe that I would enjoy. Very accurate assumption, I have to say. This is one of those times that assuming did not make an ass out of you and me. Definitely a really good fragrance. I would highly encourage, if you like an Allure Sport Eau Extreme, but you've never like decided to just pull the trigger on a bottle. You're like, $150 for that designer. I just can't do it. Well, I'll have it linked down below. I don't know if it's currently in stock, but I paid $95. And again, this is a dead ringer, slightly greener, great performance. And it's like two-thirds of the price. Pretty hard to beat. So this is one of those instances where I didn't even realize it was inspired by that fragrance, and I'm really happy I got it. And that's Gritti Rebellion. Next, we've got one that smells like the famed Tuscan leather, but the difference here is the balancing has changed greatly. So instead of being dominated by raspberry and dominated by that rough and tumble leather accord, you get more woody and earthy elements with those, the fruits and stuff in the background. So clear as day, smells like Tuscan leather, but reworked and rebalanced. This is from Paradis Sens. This is called Bliss. Oh my. If you've ever liked Tuscan leather and, I don't know, maybe the raspberry note's not for you, or maybe it's just a little, something is off. You can't figure out what it is. You're like, man, I wish it was a woodier fragrance, or I wish it had more earthy notes, like maybe some added, intensified patchouli or something like that. Here you go. They made that fragrance. It, clear as day, smells like Tom Ford Tuscan leather. Niche quality, high level. I mean, this is all niche, high quality fragrances. We're talking luxury niche here. Just a woody, earthy twist. Not really twist, just rebalancing. Like, it smells like the same fragrance reworked. And I find it to be quite impressive. I would wear this in the same situations I would want to wear a Tuscan leather, an Argos, Bacio, Immortelle, just all those fruity leather, Tuscan leather type smells. This is, for some, probably better, because if you lean more towards woody and earthy accords, you're going to like this one better. It's a standout. It really is. It's got that wow factor. It really does. So any of you leather fragrance lovers, if you're a fan of that DNA, you owe it to yourself to grab a sample and try this one, because I don't want to say it's a dead ringer, because it obviously smells just like it, just balanced completely different, like a complete shift in the opposite direction. The base notes are at the forefront. With Paradis Sens, Bliss. Now here's one that I've often called, when Golden Frieza was Frieza's final form. Now I think we got to call it Black Frieza. I think that's Frieza's new final form. When it comes to Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce, to me, the best of the best of the best has always been Parfums de Marly Percival. I don't think you can get a better fragrance that smells like Fierce than this one. Get that to focus. There we go. So this is my 75 ml nuclear performer, guys. Crazy, crazy strong stuff. Has that slight fruitiness at the top. Spicy, musky, 90s cologne type of smell. Strong woody base. Got a lot of these aroma molecules, that cologne note. It's got a little bit of ambroxan. This stuff screams off the skin. It's easy to go nose blind to. 4 sprays will fill a room for many, many, many hours. Even if you can't currently smell it, it's still screaming off of your skin. This is one that's easy to go nose blind to. High compliment factor, room filler. Fierce, done to the 10th power. This is how you can look at this. Like, I wouldn't... There's never a situation where if you like Fierce, I would recommend anything other than this. Of course, it's the most expensive route to take if you want this profile, but it's also the best one. It's the strongest performer. It's the highest quality of the synthetics used, because there is a difference in quality with synthetics as well. Just like there are with naturals versus synthetics. There's higher quality synthetic oils as well. And they definitely use some good stuff here. I'm a big fan. My wife's a huge fan. And if you favor getting compliments from your fragrance, you might want to consider it. Fierce is an all-time great for it, and Percival is even better. Now, this is the one that, based on what it's clearly inspired by, I wouldn't take it over Creed Aventus, but in certain instances, I would wear it over Creed Aventus. This is from Atelier Cologne. This is Musc Imperial, and clear as day smells like Aventus. Now, this, on the other hand, now we're talking natural ingredients. 89% of ingredients of natural origin. This is some quality stuff, but it clearly smells like a fresher, slightly more citric Creed Aventus. A little bit more woodsy. Like, it's clearly the path they were walking. It's not an identical fragrance. It's more inspired by than direct clone. A lot of these have a little bit of nuance and twist, but clear cut, like they were making their Aventus. You know, everybody's good for that these days. They make their Aventus. This is their Aventus, and it's a damn good one. It's not a high yielding performing machine. The naturals here kind of, that's one of the things about Atelier Cologne. You're going to get an incredible wearing experience because it's mostly naturals. Like, this is actually the lowest percentage of natural ingredients used of the bottles I have from them. Most of them are 92, 93, 94% range. And they smell photorealistic with a lot of the notes and accords created. But they don't last really long. They're parfum concentrations. They're like anywhere from 3 to 6 hours, depending on the fragrance. This one's like 4 to 5 hours. But what a great experience. If you want an Aventus experience in the high heat, and I don't mean Aventus Cologne, because Aventus Cologne is fresher. I mean that dark, smoky, tart, fruity, musky smell of Aventus, just in a fresher, more summer-friendly form. They made that fragrance. That's where the use comes in for me. This is actually really, really good. And you can typically find it under $100 from discounters in the kind of like $80 range. It's well worth a pickup as long as you can kind of grasp the fact that it's not going to be a beastly performer. It's not going to be an above average performer. It's going to be an average at best performer. And you're looking for the experience. This is quite a good experience. Now, speaking of Creed, they're not excluded from things like this. And there's honestly a few fragrances we could pick here, but I think the most notorious, because I believe it to be the same perfumer, so Mont Blanc Individuel. You guys know where I'm going with this. I might even put it in the thumbnail. I haven't made the thumbnail yet, but Creed Original Santal. Yes, Individuel came out first, but Original Santal did it better. And I think it's because of the ingredients used is what it comes down to, because the accords, the profile, the balancing of the fragrance, all very similar, almost one-to-one kind of stuff. It's just this is a clear-cut, better-smelling fragrance because the ingredients are better. It's higher quality. There's no two ways about it. Warm, fruity, drier sheet, warm sandalwood kind of stuff, a little spiced, some like cinnamon, not overdone, not hefty, big spoonful of cinnamon kind of stuff. It's there, it's noticeable, but it doesn't overtake the fragrance, because I know cinnamon kind of hit or miss for some. This is so good. It's so good. This can be a signature scent. If you want a slightly warmer fragrance that can be worn year-round, easy on the sprays in the summer, it'll be okay in the high heat. Just be mindful. But spring, fall, especially the transitional seasons, oh man, is this so good. But a clear-cut ripoff. no two ways about it. Clear-cut ripoff of Mont Blanc Individuel, which did come out first, but the Creed fragrance is so much better. I had Individuel first. I went through a 50 ml bottle. I have another 50 ml bottle, and then eventually I tried this. I was like, ooh, I need to have a bottle of that one day. Unfortunately, I have the 50 ml, and I would encourage, don't write it off. Don't assume it's not going to be a big enough difference to not bother trying this. Because if you try this and you can say, oh, no, I'm good with Individuel, all good. But I would be surprised if you try this and say it's not better than Mont Blanc Individuel, but they clearly ripped it off. Creed Original Santal. For you Bleu de Chanel fans, this is clear inspiration of the EDP. A bit aquatic versus that. Again, it's not a dead ringer, but it's almost a dead ringer for Bleu de Chanel EDP. Loewe 7 Cobalt. I think it's better. Honestly, again, here we go. Better ingredients. Better pizza. Papa John's. Just felt right. I was going with better ingredients. It just flows off the tongue. What a great ad. Kudos, Papa John's. But it applies with fragrance. Better ingredients, better fragrance. Loewe 7 Cobalt. Yeah. Has all of the citrus, nice woody dominance. Again, it's a bit more watery and aquatic than something like a Bleu de Chanel. Any of them. None of them are aquatics. None of the three concentrations. And you get that smoky nuance that's at the core of what makes, I think, what makes Bleu de Chanel special for a blue fragrance, especially the EDP. That's a lot of people's favorite because it's so well-rounded. It's the medium between the EDT and the Parfum, which I'm a big Parfum guy. But this gives you what I believe the full experience of Bleu de Chanel EDP and then some. So that's what could warrant spending the additional money. But honestly, depends on where you're looking. Because I paid a little over $70, like $74 for a 50 ml of this. And a 50 milliliter bottle of Bleu de Chanel EDP is going to cost you more than $74. Because Chanel does not allow their fragrances to really explore the world at discounters, okay? So when you're going to get a Bleu de Chanel fragrance that's legit, a real bottle, because there's a lot of fakes out there. Because when the rule of thumb with Bleu de Chanel is if the price seems too good to be true, it is. That is a fake bottle. If it is looks like a steal of a price, it's a fake bottle, because Chanel doesn't play around with holding on to prestige. So this is actually a better purchase financially, because you get the same experience with better quality and a little bit extra something in the nuance. You're going to spend less money. Kind of hard to beat, right? And that's Loewe 7 Cobalt. And last but not least, this is a one-to-one experience. This is actually what the brand is going for, is taking popular fragrances and making higher quality interpretations of them. Now, Tom Ford's Oud Wood is an all-time men's classic at this stage. All-time great stuff. And Spirit of Kings Zaurac nails the profile with a slightly better performing, better smelling quality fragrance. You get all of that fresh, spiced, oriental, smoky, just the way the particular oud that's used for the oud wood profile. I've always related it to kind of, and this is going to sound weird, a little bit of an industrial strength cleaner, and I know that doesn't sound flattering. When you smell it, you can kind of get where I'm coming from. There's a certain level of appeal and just presence, strong presence to the oud wood profile, and they nailed it here. They certainly nailed it. And it's actually, from discounters, a little over $100 for these bottles, and that's more affordable than getting oud wood. And they did use better ingredients. And they went for carbon copy, and they pretty much nailed it. I can't tell a difference between the two, personally. Any difference I could tell you is me reaching to find something. That's how close it is. So kudos to them. They nailed it. So if you're looking for oud wood, slightly better ingredients, because Tom Ford private blend stuff, that's not cheap crap. It's not overpriced cheap crap. No. Tom Ford private blend fragrances are good stuff. This is good stuff for less money. It's the same experience. So if you're looking for oud wood for less money, but not Middle Eastern clone quality, because those are still pretty good. But this is a straight up niche fragrance that still is less than getting oud wood. but much, much better and a bit more expensive than the Middle Eastern clones, because there's tons of ways to smell like oud wood out there if you're looking for a clone. But from what I've tried, this is the best one. Spirit of Kings, Zaurac. Well, that's the 7 particular niche clones that I wanted to cover with you guys, because it's very obvious. Some are more carbon copy, some are more inspired by, some are same perfumer, different brand. Like, it's no denying there's inspiration here. Heavy inspiration for all 7 of these. So I appreciate you guys for checking out the video. I'll try to have all of them linked down below as best I can for some good prices if you're interested in checking any of them out. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe before you leave. I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all have a good one.